Today I will take you back to my first climb on Mount Elbrus, Europe's highest mountain. Let's dig in. In 2019, I was working in an insurance business which I'd built with my cousin, and we were doing good. But I wanted something more to inspire my kids and leave a legacy for them. So I didn't have a mountaineering background. I didn't have any skills, any transferable skills, maybe the fitness. And I just decided to go climbing Elbrus. I didn't actually get a summit on my first mountain, but I learned so much more about mountaineering and about myself. This is the story. Who's one of my best mates, younger brother. These guys decided to come along. Azhar was kind of serious about climbing it. My nephew, he just wanted a selfie on the top. We all went, and so we took a flight from Manchester to Russia via Turkey, and we landed in Mineral Vodi. Mineral Vodi literally means mineral water. We hopped on a bus with the expedition company and got to a village called Terskol. This would be our base camp, if you know what I mean, where we project ourselves onto the mountain. And I did a lot of training. I got myself fit and I got myself ready to get up this mountain, and I felt like I was on the prime and peak of my fitness. So we got to Mineral Vodi. It's a small little village in the foot of the mountain. So we checked into our hostel, and all three of us, we had our own little room, and we unpacked a little, and then we went to the dining room for a discussion about the plans. I was feeling a bit out of place, maybe not out of place, but because I didn't know anyone and it was hard for me to just mix in, people weren't letting on. It felt a bit weird, but the expedition company, the operators were really open and very approachable, and we listened to what they had to say. We heard the plan. Plan was we trek on two different mountains, or two different treks, one up to 3,000 meters, and the second one, I think it was about 3.6 or 3.8 up to the observatory. These were separate treks off the mountain just to get acclimatized. So the first day we'd go to 3,000, come back, rest, relax. Next day we go up to 3,800, come back, rest, relax, and then we'd go on the mountain. So we did this. The first day it was really easy for me. I did not feel the altitude whatsoever. We went up, we got a glimpse of Mount Elbrus, the two double peaks. Felt really nice and really motivated us. We got back to the hostel, and the evening meal was fantastic, and we just we had some good rest. So the first day we went on Mount Chaghat, which is 3,000 meters. We got a glimpse of Mount Elbrus, and it was really motivating. I felt really excited about it, and I just wanted to get up there. So we came down, we had some nice meals in the evening, rested, and next day we woke up 7 o'clock, ready to go. We're gonna go towards the observatory, and our goal was to hit 3,400 meters. I was fit as a fiddle. I was ready, and I felt the most ready that I'd ever been. I couldn't be any more ready. And we went on the hike. My nephew's with me. We got Azhar. We're just climbing. It felt really good. And we went to halfway through, we went to the waterfall, and it was really nice to get some pictures there. We moved on. All in all, it was a good day's hiking. We got to 3,400 meters. We're going to the mountain. The next day, we're going on Elbrus. So I woke up the next day, all excited. My blood was just gushing everywhere. This is the day we go to Elbrus, and I was so excited to get on the mountain. We went to the Azor village, which is I think 2 kilometers away or 3 kilometers away from Terskol where we were, and we got to the ski lifts. We realized that we all had to carry a 20-litre bottle with our backpacks that we had. This is like a teamwork thing. Everyone carries a bottle just so that we have water, because we'll be up there for 3 days. So the first bit was easy. We just grab the bottle, get onto the ski lift, and the ski lift takes us up. The ski lift took us to, I think, 3,800 meters or something like that. After that, we'd get off the ski lift and we'd have to drag these 20 liters of water canisters. I think the ski lift took us to about 3,800 meters or something like that, and then we'd have to get up and drag these these 20-litre canisters of water down to the huts. It sounds easy enough, but there's snow, there's, you know, people slipping everywhere, so it was kind of difficult. I saw someone just let the bottle go, so a little bit later on I did the same. It was really difficult to take those bottles down along with all your gear and everything that we're carrying up, because don't forget, we carry the massive gear, the bag with us to the huts, and then we have a day pack for each day. So we had everything plus these water bottles, managed to get to the huts. The huts were very cozy and comfortable. They had a wood fire, I think, got ready. So what happened on the first day, unpacked, and so the first day we got there, we wanted to go hiking a little bit and on the mountain, and we went up to, I think, 4,050 meters. We got there, we stopped as a group and we spoke about mountain safety and stuff, and we were taught how to put on crampons, how to use an ice axe, and how to use our walking sticks properly. Also, one of the most important things that I've learned on that first trip was how to self-arrest. We were sliding off hills, you know, forwards, backwards, upside down, and self-arresting. So self-arrest is like if you're slipping on a mountain, you're going down the slope, how do you stop yourself from going all the way down and injuring yourself? So they taught us how to do it. It was a very insightful day that day. After that, we just walked down to our huts and rested for the night, and that was it. The next day was the most exciting day of my career as a mountaineer. We were going up to the Pashtakova rocks. They're 4,700 or 800 meters in elevation. It was the highest I've been in my career, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm pumped up and we're ready to go. So we had our breakfast, we put our gear on, and then so we're ready to go. We start trekking, we get to the crampon point, put our crampons on, and then we start walking, and then eventually we got to the slope. God, this was a 45-degree slope, just sheer ice. It was really exciting, and it was a good place to be. And eventually we reached the Pashtakova rocks. We sat down for a few minutes, and you know what, I could see something that I'd never seen in my life. I saw like this ball of cloud coming in to the path that we're going to be taking down, and it scared me. Like, I'm just thinking, what is going on, and is this safe? I'm wondering if it's safe, but I looked at the guides and they didn't seem to be phased at all. We had our drinks, we took some rest, and it was time to go, and I'm just looking at the guides like, are we actually going to go through this? They just said we have to walk through it. So we started walking down. I don't know how I'm feeling, and I don't know what it's going to feel like once we get there. But we started walking down, and we're going in. It just, you know, felt like a bit of extra wind, and it was just dark. Couldn't see ahead, but path was there, so we could use the path to get down. So we're walking through it, and eventually we got to the huts, and we decided to rest. So next day was going to be a rest day, and I'm feeling, you know, energetic still. I just want to go there. That's how excited I was. And I looked at my weather, and it really blew me off. Like, I saw the weather and I could see that there's a storm coming in. So I spoke to the expedition company. I said to them, look, there's a storm coming in, right? Can we, I mean, I'm feeling strong. Can we sort of move the summit push to tomorrow? They just said to me, listen, the storm will pass. We've got a few rest days. We'll see how it goes. The next morning, I woke up and I tried again, and I said to him, look, let me go without a guide. Let me go to the summit. I'm ready, because tomorrow and the next days, the next few days, there's bad weather and our expedition ends. They said, no, don't worry about it. The storm will pass. The next morning, we woke up and it was horrible. The storm was here. It was snowing. It was really bad. The guides sort of said, you know, it might be an idea to go down to the village and take some rest while the storm passes. I had no choice, actually. So I went down to the village. It's depressing, and we just sort of just rested and ate and slept. The next day the weather wasn't too good either, and they just said, look, I knew it was coming. They just said, look, we have to cancel the expedition. I wasn't having any of it. I went back to the dining room after a while, and I spoke to the guides, and I said to them, listen, I'm not here to back down. I'm going to give it a go. I want one of you guys, the strongest one, to take me and let me at least have a summit push so that I can at least tell myself I gave it a go. I don't care if there's a storm. I said to them, this is what I want to do, this is my decision, I will pay extra. I want to at least have a shot at it. They said, look, let us have a think about it. The next morning, they called me into the dining room, me and 3 of the guys. They said that they thought about what I said and they found somebody else that would take us. And they said, look, you guys are the 4 strongest in this group. If anyone's got a chance at this summit, it's you. And so I'm excited to meet this guy. He greets us all and I said to him, bro, we're gonna get the summit, right? And he's like, yeah, God willing. I'm like, all right, okay, no problem. So we got some rest, got up at 11, got ready. I think it was about 12 o'clock by the time we set off and the weather was calm. Half an hour in, the weather started howling, the snow was coming down. It was really hard to walk. We were probably going 5 times slower than what we were doing on our acclimatization. Can't see anything. The weather is really bad and the snow is, just making it impossible to see ahead. And we're walking, and then suddenly the guy's like, stop! And he just stopped us all in our tracks. I'm not thinking what's going on. And then he just points and he goes, look, there's a massive drop there. And I'm like, oh, that was a close one. We got back on track and then we were walking. We must have walked for another hour and a half or so. And the guide stopped us again. He's like, another cliff. This happened all along the way, and then eventually it got to a point where it felt like we were just going around in circles. And Islam was like, that's it. Everyone sort of agreed. He just said, you know what, let's go see the sunrise. Watching the sunrise and had some water and stuff, and then we just made our way back, and that was it. I was deflated and there was nothing more I could do. I did my best. I even hired a separate guide to try and take me, even in bad weather. I was willing to go, but it just didn't happen. And that was it. We got down, back to the village. That was the end of the expedition. One thing I wanted to discuss is equipment. The thing is, a lot of people might think that buying equipment is expensive, starting off mountaineering. I'm here to tell you it's not. I started climbing. I did my first Elbrus expedition. The most expensive piece of kit that I had, and I've still got, are these Scarpa Phantom 6000 boots. It's a double boot system. It's got an inner bootie in there, if I can get it out. So they were about 475 quid from Amazon. A place in Spain sent them to me. That is the most expensive piece of kit I've got, and I've been able to utilize it throughout all my expeditions, although I don't use them now as much, but that's the most expensive piece. When we're talking base layers, I got from Sports Direct. I think they were a £5 each, the top and bottom, so I got 2 sets for 20 quid. Socks I got from Sports Direct, £5.99 I think they were at the time, for 3 pairs. With regards to technical equipment, the ice axe I actually hired from a shop in Terskol, and the crampons I also hired from a shop in Terskol. I do have my own now, but the pants that we had I bought from Go Outdoors, I think. The pants that I had were also from Sports Direct. The light alpinist jacket was a Carrymore alpinist jacket. That was 40 quid. The outer jacket that I had came with a fleece. It was a 3-in-1 jacket. I've got a waterproof jacket. I've got a fleece that I can take off and wear, which I utilized on my hikes for acclimatization off the mountain. I think that was about 40 quid as well. And what else? I bought a headlight for £15 I think, and I rented the helmet from Terskol. A list of equipment that I had, and that's basically it. I mean, glove liners, Sports Direct, and the outer glove, Sports Direct. Everything, most of the things I actually bought from Sports Direct at the time when I started off, and I must have spent a couple of £100 buying all the equipment, aside from the boots. I also had some Carrymore trekking boots. They were 40 quid. I used them for a good 2 or 3 years before one of the anchors that hold the, I don't even know what you call them, before one of the hooks for the laces came off, but they were still in good nick. So all in all, I'll leave a list in the comments and here of the gear I used and who they were from. Thanks for watching, guys. On the next episode we go into this. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification button so you know when my next video is coming.